Hello, everyone. We're back once again with another episode of Sanguine Dominion. It is on the letterhead this evening. You see it. We are going to have ourselves another interlude. It is unfortunate that the incredible talent, Charmy, is not with us today. So we're going to, instead of progressing our main plot, step into some side stories of our cast. It's going to be either windows into the past to frame and give reference for moments that shaped our coterie, or it is going to be plots that are happening very much to the side of anything in the main timeline. So, that being said, for our first vignette, we are going to walk into the past of Deacon Hill. Now, it's been mentioned a few times that Deacon is a rather capricious kindred when it comes to loyalties to sect, holding himself to a little bit of a more higher moral standard than the laws that would govern these different bodies in vampiric culture, holding far more to the ideals of things like clan and loyalty and honor than any sort of grander plans and motives of whatever ruling council happens to operate within the Camarilla, within the Anarchs. And so that has led to a non-zero amount of moving between those sects, because on paper, the Anarchs are members of the Camarilla. And thus it should be a free movement. And so we are going to join our good Ventru this evening about, what would it would be 4 years in the past at this point, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, because this would be before I ever realized what was in the sewer, or even worked with Lupe or any of that. So yeah,
Yeah, so it would
maybe
be
a little. Yeah,
it would be 4 years, or just over 4 years in the past of present day. I think that it would be best if we were within the Deacon Cave. You are sitting within the confines of your collection of monitors and sort of red string esque connecting documents. You are within your plush chair, a glass or what have you of whatever your drink of choice laden with vitae sitting, and you receive an alert on your phone. And then you receive another, and another, and another, and another. They are push notifications from your different financial institutions. They are from your accountants and your financial advisors, giving you missives about your stock portfolios and your options, and how things seem to be in a little bit of a free fall. One of your offshore bank accounts has received a red flag, one of a dozen. And it seems like there's a sort of slow rollout of freezing and interrupting of your money and your assets. You wait about 45 minutes. They start to slow. You do a little bit of damage control. You keep looking into things, and then it hits you. Deacon, you have forever and a day understood the ebb and flow of money, whether it was at a street level, collecting extortion funds or drug money or anything like that, and the flow of money within an underworld setting, or the training that you receive from Jasmine, giving you insight into the financial institutions and the ebb and flow of great sums of money. And you've been attacked before. This has happened. I mean, there are business people that operate in your circles that want to see your downfall. Mortals, individuals that try to see themselves as your competitor. This kind of coordinated attack really only occurs when another kindred is targeting your assets. People with that kind of pull. It would be that or perhaps another supernatural creature, but you happen to know that in this particular city that there are a few that would enjoy to see your downfall. So who is it?
I start compiling a list of who would possibly want to come after me.
Yeah.
I just got here. Basically, I essentially just got here.
It's been maybe 6 months since you decided to make this your port of call. So yes, it's rather unsettling to see this sort of coordinated attack on your funds already. This is very much a few years in after you've pissed someone off that this would start occurring. But I think what I'll ask is for an investigation.
That is 3 successes.
So, you start pulling strings, making calls, sending off emails, calling in private favors with mortals. Who are the financial institutions that are attacking me? Who are these shell companies? Who sent their lawyers after me? Like, who has the contact within, the CSA or the CRA to flag my accounts? Like, who in this city could have that kind of clout? What kind of organizations would have this kind of clout? And really, it's a collection of about 2 people. There's Damon Trent, the Primogen, whom you've introduced yourself to, and then there is Kyle Strathcona himself. Those are truly the only 2 individuals that would attempt to make this kind of a mess in your life.
Feel like at this point, Trent has more. I have more access to Trent than I would the standing prince of the domain.
It stands to reason, yeah. And and since you don't, it would be through Trent that you would get access to the prince as well. So
yeah, so this is the world where I don't know it. I probably don't even know his secret yet.
You would definitely not yet.
Yeah. I go through all the proper channels of announcing that I would like to speak on true matters concerning funds.
You're cutting out on your mic.
I am?
Yeah, you're not totally silent, but I think it's just a gain issue, or
you're facing away.
You're facing away from the mic. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
you go through the proper channels, which is essentially speaking to his financial team, his advisors, his secretaries, and you're in short order given a meeting. You're an accepted neonate in the domain. There's nothing wrong with that. You have a great pedigree. Jasmine Chen is your sire, and thus he says, "Of course, I'll meet you whenever you would like."
Whenever you would tonight work for you?
He sends back an affirmative. He says, "Of course, yes. I'm not too busy for clan matters."
I'm on my way, and I'll see you there. Thank you for your time. As soon as I get off the phone, I just doing it.
Yuck. A short while later. A short while later, you arrive at his office. The rather dinky interior, comparative to most Ventru, is what is presented to you. This is very likely your first private meeting with the Primogen, outside of a more public setting at, say, an Elysium or what have you. So you walk into his office. He has you sit down. He sits across from you. And although it is purely performative, as vampires do not need to breathe, Trent takes a deep breath and lets out a heavy sigh. "So, they are coming after your money."
I just need to know who they are so that I can take care of the problem. Hope you can help me out with that.
I can. It's a matter of sensitivity. Kyle Strathcona puts every one of the Clan of Kings through a stress test when they arrive within the city. He calls it a necessary function of the domain. There is a lot of eyes on Calgary. There are a non-insignificant amount of new money individuals here that like to jockey for positions of power. And their cash is largely fluid. It is not caught up in large assets. It is not real estate. It is not old stock and grounds. It is usually large sums of liquid cash. And thus, he puts anyone coming in with large amounts of money into a pretty sincere ringer. He will come for your assets. He will ensure that they are secure and that you can stand up to an attack. The cutthroat nature of this domain when it comes to finances is, I guess, a matter of some worry to him. And seeing as he's the prince, he doesn't really see a reason to announce it. I am telling you because you are, well, you're one of Jasmine's.
And what will he do if I just get it all back and prevent this from happening? In general, will he give me a pat on the back, or will he target me as a potential enemy?
Kyle Strathcona has vested interest in forging Kindred. It's his modus to put Ventru through a crucible.
Mm.
If you solve this too quickly, if it is a hasty act, and it all just goes away with a wave of a hand, then he will come at you harder. He wants to know the extent of your assets. He wants to know your reach. He wants you to call in boons from other cities. He wants every single penny of yours accounted for by him. He doesn't want you to tell him what your portfolio looks like. He wants to see it in action. He wants to see what happens when you have a blowtorch on you, and more importantly, how you solve an ever-present problem. His pockets are as deep as any I have ever seen. And it is through that merit that he is able to get away with things like this. Also, his reach within the city is nigh infinite, so if you do simply wave the hand, you will not get a pat on the back. You will likely not hear recognition that he did it at all. It will be, oh, you had problems? That's interesting that you let that happen. I hope that you solve them soon. It will happen again. It has a habit of happening around here, etc., etc., etc. And as long as you are in the city, he will very likely routinely test your limits when it comes to the favors and contacts and allies and money, the raw resources that you have. Not enough to break you, and not enough to keep you from doing the work that he needs you to do, but it will be enough to make you sweat and think twice about acting against him.
Okay. All right. I let it go on for a reasonable amount of time and then stop it to make it seem like I struggled. These games. I get it. I'm the new one in town. I get it.
Well, and you're from New York.
Yeah, I'm from New York. If this is New York, I would just take a rocket launcher to Elysium. But I'm not in New York. Different rules for different places. But also, if I did that to Elysium, I'd have to deal with Kadir, and I'm not trying to deal with anyone on that level. Okay. I'll play the game. I appreciate your time and for you educating me on this.
How long are you going to play the game?
As long as I deem necessary.
I've done my digging on you, Mr. Hill.
What'd you find?
I found out that you are a runner. I have found out that you are not exactly a man of patience.
If you knew what I was running from, you'd really understand.
I am not trying to find out what you're running from. I am not trying to inherit your problems or your worries. I simply want to understand if putting my neck out for a fellow Camarilla member is going to be what I am doing, or if all of this is going to be another performative action until you jump that fence again.
My sire personally asked me to come here. And that put me with you as Primogen and Kyle as Prince. You are the only other two Ventru I know here. You are my lifeline. You are my foothold as far as those types of things in this city. I will maintain that relationship with you.
We are not the only Ventru in this city.
You're the ones I know. You're the one taking the meeting. You're the one helping me. And I respect that. So long as you have my respect, you have me.
You operate with elements that are also unwieldy. You are good friends and coterie mates with Texas, correct?
Yeah.
Why?
We like bikes.
That is an oversimplified answer for a very complex question that I have asked. Let me be a little bit more direct and not so vague. Why is it that one of our clan, the Clan of Kings, is cavorting about with a motorbike riding psychopath?
I would much rather have a motorbike riding psychopath having my back than being pissed off at me and attacking me. And also, like I said before, we both like bikes.
So, it is by the good graces of your sire that I entertain a lot of this. But you have a rather foul reputation, Mr. Hill. Besides the pedigree of your blood and your actions, it's... I don't think that...
Foul reputation? That's the first I've heard of this.
I don't think that it is an unreasonable thing to say that someone who would betray the loyalties of sect and flee their domain show up in another that is almost completely across the continent and suddenly start pulling strings in a very meaningful way, and then also arrive with a intensely brutalistic brouhaha on their coattails. That looks bad, Mr. Hill.
I'm going to give you a little bit of history. Okay, you said you didn't really care about why, but here, who is the person in charge of the Camarilla here?
That would be Mr. Kyle Strathcona.
Exactly. You know who's in charge of New York?
Enlighten me.
It ain't the prince. She's just the figurehead. The pocket you're in isn't the pocket you're in New York. At least here, I know who is actually pulling the strings. There's about 5 sets of puppets before you get to the actual correct set of strings. As far as Texas is concerned, that's my boy. So, if you're worried about sect loyalty, I do believe the Anarchs, on paper, are considered a part of the Camarilla anyway. He's just a more rougher part of it.
That is a... There's the letter of the law, and there's the spirit of the law. Neither of us were there when it was written, but the way that it stands in the current day, both you and I know that the Anarchs are as much members of the Camarilla as the vassal states of the British Empire were members of the British Empire.
Yeah, and America and the US
works about like
Hawaii,
that.
We know.
That's how it works. Mr. Hill.
Yeah.
Do you think that it might be better if you served our clan on the other side of that fence? I can set you up with contacts. I can put you in touch with a woman named Lydia. there can be a quid pro quo between myself and the Baron, Trevor LePage. There are assets that I have on the other side of this fence, and it's...
Okay, my question for you, if I were to do that for you, because that's who it would be for you, as Imogen, how would Prince Strathcona take it, considering he's already messing with my money?
Prince Strathcona expects it.
Oh.
I think it's better to get it out of the way early.
Then I'll have to repeat myself. I will play the game for so long as I need to. And as so long as you have my respect, I am with you. If you need me to go there, I'll go there because you asked me to. But I'm good where I'm at. I'm good with doing things the way I've been doing them. I just don't like the whole rigmarole that comes with these extra games. But also over there, I'm the Ventru that came to town that suddenly joined the Anarchs. That's too many questions for now. I'm too new. I'm 6 months in, man.
You're a very bootstraps kind of kindred. I know your history. You came from nothing. You came from nothing, and you are now in the top 10 wealthiest individuals in all of Western Canada, at least. You came here with so much money and clout that you're interrupting the stock market in Canada. People had to account for you. There was a jump in the NASDAQ. Yes. There are going to be waves, no matter where you place yourself. But I'm going to do you a favor. And he unplugs a flash drive and he plants it on the table. That right there is the bulk of Kyle Strathcona's portfolio within Calgary. The assets, the places of business that he has. That is going to give you an incredible leg up when you join the Anarchs at my behest. I will take the heat and make it seem like it was my plan. Because, Mr. Hill, I do not want to have to babysit a conflict between you and the prince, because I'm not entirely convinced that his assets go toe-to-toe with yours. Not if Jasmine gets involved, and if he pisses you off enough, then you go to her, and then she gets involved, and then it is a Ventru pissing contest that I cannot afford to have.
If there were a pissing contest, which side would you take? Out of curiosity.
I cannot speak candidly on that matter, as it would betray my current interests.
I like when you answer without answering. When you give the word, I'll do it for you. But only when you give the word. Is there anything else that you needed from me?
Yeah, can we speak off the record?
Yeah. You have a cat?
Yes, I have a cat. He's like petting it like Dr. Claw style from
You
Inspector Gadget. Yeah.
How old is that cat? I know you Googled it. Animals don't like us.
This is my familiar. Its name is Squishy. It's a calico. I've had it for going on 35 years now.
Damn. Okay.
Yes. So.
Okay. Off the record.
Off the record. And if you take offense to this, I do not mean it. This is personal curiosity, and you also have every right not to answer. I do not know you and your group as well as I would like, but consider this an opinion from an outsider looking in. Why truly do you cavort with Texas? Texas, after a very, very short look into who that person is and how they operate, they are a brutalist monster. They are nigh on an uncontrollable, rage-filled beast. I have seen Sabbat members that are better leashed than that rebel. I understand loyalties and I understand brotherhood, but it smacks a little strange to me as the difference between the two of you is truly night and day. Although you might have a short temper, things are dealt with surgically and usually with a level of decorum. To be as blunt as I can, Texas mauls and eats people. He is inhumane to a fault, and I think attaching yourself to him will lead to problems in the future. More problems than it solves, having a person like that at your side. I have avoided individuals like Texas because I have seen the aftermath of fraternizing with people like him. So as gentle as I can possibly ask, it's not the bikes, so what is it?
I can confidently say Texas has not lied to me or tried to manipulate me in any way. And while, yes, he can be, hell, I use the word, he is a sociopath is more of the correct term, not psychopath, but we're all borderline sociopathic. We fucking feed on people. To my knowledge, nothing he's done was ever to a person that did not actively deserve it. And he's usually one to give a warning beforehand. I believe the words he say before he gets active. But when it really comes down to it, if in true, I like to say that we all pride ourselves on greatness, and I see greatness in him. Right now it's muddled up by a murderous sociopath, but hey, fucking Rome was led by a murderous sociopath. At the very least. If I ever need an army led, Texas will lead it under the charge. Probably get a battle axe or a sword. He seems like a sword guy. But also, it might be that I'm young and you're a bit older. Sometimes someone's just your friend. And I don't really put that much thought into it until I have to. Off the record.
Off the record. The only piece of advice I can give, and I understand that this is unsolicited and you have no reason to listen to me as I am literally driving you away from my circle of influence, but a monster who is loyal and honest is still a monster. And I hope between the two of you that you will be able to find a happy medium in how you operate. It is frightening to me that there may come a day where all of us are at odds, because I do not think I win that fight.
If it ever came down to that, you would have had to have really pissed him off.
I fear that getting him to that point is not as hard as you think.
Getting me to that point is not that hard. He has much more control than I do. It's just that when he gets there, he gets there.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Hill, this has been pleasant. You said at my word that you would start the processes of going to the other side. Well, very, very firmly consider this the word. I do think that it is the best way forward. I think that there will be allies on that side. I think that you are a capable young Kindred that has an excellent head on your shoulders, but you need time. You need time to learn, to create, to carve a space for yourself. And I think that Kyle Strathcona is making a grave mistake by targeting you at all. Sometimes just because you think a method works and it is the way that you have operated forever, it is not the way that you should continue to operate. Money flows more easily these days. Things are more fluid. He's stuck in a few routines, as some elders get, and it is starting to affect his decision-making skills. And I think that one of the biggest mistakes that he's going to make is by acting like this and driving you away. It is acts like that will be his downfall. I trust and believe.
And I agree. Being stuck in your ways is a shitty way to lead. But if this is the word, I'll start making the moves. And again, I thank you for your time.
This is the word, and I appreciate your willingness to work with me.
Of course.
I wish it was under better circumstances, but such is the life that we lead.
I reach out my hand to shake his.
He shakes your hand.
Yeah, I do not do it like I did the first time we met. I do it actually in a respectable way.
Yeah.
But as I'm walking out, right as I'm about to close the door, and I go away, I knew it was either you or Kyle. You were just the one I can get a meeting with immediately. And then I close the door and walk out.
Yeah, you hear a long, drawn-out sigh. It is the exasperated expression of a man who knows that a very large problem has walked into his circle of influence, and there's not a hell of a lot that he can do about it.
Before I even leave the building, I put out the word that I want.
Oh, your mic cut out. Fully. Yep.
Am I back?
Yep.
Okay. Before I even leave the building, I put out the word that I want Trevor to be watched as carefully as possible. I want to know more about him, his secrets, whatever. I need something on him because I don't like I'm brand new here. Don't tell me what the fuck to do. And also, because I just can't help myself at this point, I'm still 2.deacon. Actually, no.
You're 1.deacon at this point.
I'm 1.deacon.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
And to quote a wonderful movie, playing with my money is like playing with my emotions. I stop that shit as soon as I get to the car.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
and then I send word. If I can get someone to get to Kyle, it will just say, the message will simply say, I see you. Good try.
Okay. All right. We'll zoom out from Deacon at that point. So for our next scene, we are going to go quite a bit further in the past. We're moving back to the year 1986. It is in the state of Texas, the Lone Star State that we find ourselves. On the western side, I think the place where we start is we zoom in on a bus that is trundling into Bastrop?
There you go,
Bastrop, Texas. And at that bus stop, as that old, Silverliner bus comes to a stop, the smell of stale cigarettes and old coffee stains and the sweat of the crush of humanity pours out of that bus. The other thing that pours out is Texas. So, Texas, you've just been relieved of duty from the army. You served for some time, having your lived-in experiences, good, bad, ugly, etc. However, if I recall correctly, I don't think you ever went into the engineering corps or into, you weren't, you didn't serve on any naval ships, twisting wrenches and learning any hard skills that would serve you. You can load, lift, and transport crates of ammo. You sure as hell know how to pack a sandbag quicker than anyone else in the squad. You can strip down, clean, oil, put back together any rifle or small arms that can be given out to a GI.
Yeah, it's like fresh out is very hard for Texas, but at this point, it's not Texas; it's Bartolo who gets off the bus.
It is Bartolo,
and yeah, I mean, 82nd Infantry Airborne just pops right off. He didn't go to officer school or officers academy afterwards. Like, he was set up, sent out, sent back home. Then he gets off that silver bullet and he kind of looks around at where he's at, not really realizing where, and he just takes a deep breath and he's like, fuck. All right. I have to figure something out. He starts smacking himself in the face because it's been a long ride. All right. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. And he kind of just stands there at the bus station a little bit defeated and starts walking into the direction of what he can hear is the town.
Bastrop, Texas is a place where where a GI would be able to make a life. It's not a fancy town. It's not, it doesn't have the glitz and glamour of Dallas or Houston. But it is a place where a man can cut his teeth and become, a hardworking, tax-paying citizen once again, especially after being overseas, especially after serving the way that you did. The people of Texas largely respect the armed forces. It's you hope against hope as your feet pound into the asphalt and the pavement that someone will give good Bartolo a job, anything. You set yourself up walking into town as you hang in a motel for a few nights, pulling job notifications and applications off of cork boards that sort of are within the town square or at the convenience store or at the local supermarket. You're looking for paper copies of like the old phone number tabs that are ripped off and
tabs.
Yep, you're pulling tabs off. You're making phone calls. You're throwing calls in on payphones, and that is when eventually you receive a gig as a farrier. You understand farm animals. You understand life on
metal. I understand metal. Like
yeah. So my question is, how long is it that it takes Texas to tire of that life? Or sorry, Bartolo to tire of that life. What is it? How long is it before you're going from farmland to farmland, getting really nowhere until you're looking for a bit more meaningful work?
I would say that it did take maybe about a solid year of consistent bouncing around. And it's not as though that any time that he left one specific job that he was on to the next. There are weeks to where he is also still searching. Sometimes he just ends up on someone's land and notices something, and that turns into a gig for him. It's kind of like either he's walking by or riding by. I think at this particular time he was able to buy like an old dusty Yamaha Cruiser, and where it's just like the big mode of his travel. He's got like a knapsack strapped to the back of a saddlebag. Everything's real dusty and a little bit oily from the work, right? His tools and structures are just strapped down to a potential little cart that he finds. And he just shows up to places where you need somebody to toss some metal around. I see you got some horses back there. Probably need shoeing. I'm also pretty good with cattle. I'm just looking for a hot meal and a little money.
It's after a few very temporary gigs of being a farrier, of working metal, of taking care of the few horses that need shoeing, that need rocks removed from hooves. You become sort of like a hoof GP for the local area for a little while. Eventually, you come to a ranch that is owned by a middle-aged black woman. She introduces herself over the phone as Hannah Winthorpe. She tells you, she's like, so I have this plot of land. My uncle and I live on it, and he's getting old and he's getting sick. We're struggling to keep up with chores and such. So how about you come out and take a look at the place, see if it suits what you can do, and we can have a chat about arrangements and such. I've heard from a couple of people around Bastrop that you do good work, and you don't make a fuss. So how's that sound?
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I can absolutely make my way out there, and I'm pretty sure anything that you have, I'll be able to help out with. I just I appreciate the time. I appreciate you calling me back. I'm surprised that you're able to find me. I'm a little bit of a nomad right now, so
I need kind of a nomad right now. I need somebody that doesn't know me around here. I'm widowed. My old man died, and then I don't need any gentleman callers that know me from back in high school coming and sniffing around my land. So, I need
yeah.
a loner. So you're gonna come, you're gonna work, and we'll figure something out. But only if you want it. I'll meet you on my
Yes,
land.
ma'am. Absolutely. I'll be there today. Thank you.
So, it's a fairly remote location that you need to travel to in order to get to the Winthorpe Ranch. It's about a day of full travel. You take your cruiser. You're heading down dirt roads. You're driving down old kind of cracked highways, and eventually you start trundling over very, very pastoral land. Huge green acres, flat, gorgeous prairies, large oak trees sticking out of these rolling hills, and you see, healthy, hardy cattle grazing on succulent green grasses. You smell the sense of the wind and the sweetgrass growing in the ditches, and everything's sort of hitting you at once that like this is a gorgeous piece of property, and you're looking for breaks in the property line. You're checking to see like where does this land end, and you see nestled in this little valley that is surrounded on all sides by hills for windbreaks, is this ranch house. A little 2-story affair with a big garage, a couple of cars sitting outside. No rusted out junkers. This is not, this isn't a heap of a piece of land. But with your keen eye, you do notice all of the hallmarks of a piece of property that needs some TLC. The grass is getting a little unwieldy. There's some weeds that need pulling. There's some deadfall trees that you catch on the outside that could use pulling out and cutting up for firewood. You understand that you're like, oh gosh, that those cattle probably need to be driven from one field to the other. That grass is getting a little short for them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You start making this mental checklist of the things that you, as just like a heavy lifter, could definitely do. You see the horses out on the pasture. You understand that this clearly isn't a horse farm, but there's a couple of horses that probably need shoeing, and that's when you see her standing at the end of the laneway. A gorgeous woman, Hannah Winthorpe. Wearing a set of dusty blue jeans, a tight Texas rose, not dress shirt, but like a ranch shirt with the sleeves rolled up past the elbows, hair pulled back into a ponytail, coming back off
Nice
her
pearl
head,
snap.
big poof on the back, kind of thing. She's got you notice she legitimately has a 6-shooter on her hip as you're coming up the lane. Hand sort of just resting on it like it's a very, very natural position for her. And then you see her, these brilliant green eyes looking out at you. Bart, right?
Yeah, that's me. Sorry, I'm just gonna. And then like he pulls like off like slowly. He gets off his bike, dusts his hands off, and walks up to her and extends his hand. Yeah, Bartolo. Miss Winthorpe, is that you?
You can call me Hannah.
Hannah? Pleasure.
Yes, it is. Welcome to Winthorpe Ranch. Every single blade of grass that you've seen for the past 30 miles come from that way is mine.
Wow, that's a bit of land. That's impressive.
Came down from my daddy. He was a very, very intelligent man.
Could tell. I'm more than happy to start as soon as you allow. I did notice some things as I rode in that I could probably help out with. But of course, any conversation you want to have before then.
Where are you staying? There ain't a pot to piss in between here and Bastrop.
I kind of like the stars. I could figure something out.
Yeah, you gonna tent?
Somewhat. He like looks at. He's got like a dusty old bedroll on the Yamaha. Hey, I don't have a place to stay, but it doesn't mean that I can't work. I'll figure that out on my own. That's my own problem. I'll be here whenever you need me.
For now, you can stay in the garage.
Okay, that's extremely kind. I don't want to.
There's a little coal stove in there. You can use it how you like. Consider that coal part of your paycheck.
That's fine. That's agreeable. That's fine.
So what can you do?
Whatever you ask.
It's a very dangerous thing to say, Mr. Bartolo.
I used to be a dangerous man.
She rolls her eyes. I don't want and I don't need a dangerous man. I didn't hire a dangerous man.
No, ma'am.
I need somebody that can twist a sheet of steel into a horseshoe. I need somebody that can pitchfork hay. And I'm going to need somebody to herd cattle. Can you do those things?
I can. I can do those.
You can cut a switch.
I can.
Can you cook for yourself?
Yes.
What'd you do before this?
I was in the army.
Why?
Not good at much else.
My brother joined the army. There's two different kinds of people that I know join the army. People too dumb to go to school. People too dumb to know that they can go to school. Which one are you?
I think you won the lottery there, Miss Hannah. You got a sucker who... A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Okay, well, I don't expect you to salute. You don't have to clean any rifles. And I'm not making you march. So you can forget all that shit at the door. My brother couldn't. That's why he left. You understand that?
Difficult. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not ma'am. I'm Hannah.
Yes, Miss. Yes, Miss Hannah.
I'll take that. Okay. Dinner's at 5:30. Breakfast is at 5 a.m. We push all day long from 6 to 5. We're running 11-hour days. I expect a little bit of autonomy from you in the afternoons, but in the morning, we push cattle. All right?
That's fine.
As for a wage, I'll at least pay you as good as the army did.
I'm used to it. You're giving me a roof. That's more than I expect.
Room and board's great. We'll start there. All right. Well, and then she dusts off her hand, offers it for a handshake. Mr. Bartolo.
Hannah?
I think that's where we'll start. Now, what happens over the next few days is a pretty impressive sight out of both Bartolo and Miss Hannah. You are pushed to your utter limits. She works you like an absolute dog. Pushes you as hard as she possibly can. She keeps up with you. She gives you shit and petty jibes over little mistakes. There's a bit of playful banter over the next couple of days. And the days turn into weeks. The weeks turn into months. The seasons change. And then, after those weeks and months of chores, work, moving cattle, learning routines, carving a very serious place for yourself here on this piece of land, how does Texas, or how does Bartolo feel?
It's difficult because he doesn't want to admit it, but it's peaceful. A sense of the routine helps because it keeps his mind focused, but the type of routine that he now has fills him more than the past 6 years he spent in the army. The land, the air, the summer nights, the winter days. He's smiling more. He's extremely happy. And it bothers him. It bothers him because he's waiting for the shoe to drop. And no matter how much he expects it to happen, the sun comes up, 5 a.m. hits again, and Hannah is right there in the kitchen, throws him a plate, gives him a jest, and he scarfs it down, straps his rifle to his back, heads on to the barn.
It is very much a day like any other. And Hannah comes into the barn and she mentions, "Hey,
What's going on?
You've been yelling out in the night."
I'm sorry. I usually try to wait until you're asleep before I head out back into the garage because I know that can happen from time to time. It's dreams, nightmares. They get as my old infantry mate would say, they get pretty active. I haven't hurt you, have I?
No.
Okay.
She places a hand on your chest. I think that you need to find a place to be at peace with that. And I know that when I'm up and I can't make my brain be quiet, and I'm worrying about everything and nothing, it's being out under the stars that helps. So, just come with me quick.
I gotta finish on sassafras here, Junebug. I mean,
You have to
this
do
way.
what I ask you to do. There's nothing you need to do.
We're pulling that now. I think it's been quite some time since. All right, yes, ma'am.
Listen, I'm losing sleep. So yeah, we're gonna pull rank for a second. So
Don't tell me that. I told you. Damn. Okay, I will go back to the garage.
just come with me for a second.
Okay.
She takes your hand and leads you to a spot in the barbed wire where she pulls back a gate and walks out into a field where the hills kind of separate, and there is a little grassy nook. And you see a very makeshift little dugout, a place where the wind won't get to. It doesn't have a roof, but it's got some walls around it, a little makeshift fire pit. This is such an out-of-the-way place on such a large section of land that, you would have never found it if you weren't brought to it, or if you hadn't walked these lands for 20 years. She says, right here.
What's this? Did you didn't do this right now, did you? It's always been here.
It's been here for a long time, yes.
Jeez, your daddy was a smart man. This is a piece of land that I haven't even touched.
Right here, you get the best acoustics. Within 10 miles, you can hear everything. Every bird call, every chirp of a bat, every cricket, the wind, everything. And you can look up at the stars and you can just think. So, what we're going to do is the next time we got to herd cattle, we're going to come back out here. Okay?
Yeah, I'd like that.
We'll put Uncle Jamie somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be fine. We'll place him in front of the radio. He'll be okay. That and a bottle of whiskey will take him away.
Yeah, maybe two. But yeah.
Oof, God. For a man who's sick, puts it away.
Yeah, well, those two things don't have to be unrelated.
True.
Far be it from me. All right, so...
Junebug, hold on. Earlier you said that I needed to find some peace.
Yeah.
I have. I didn't realize it, but found it when you allowed me to pull up on that old dusty bike. Thought you were going to shoot me.
Thought about it the way
Probably.
you looked.
Honestly, it probably would have been the smartest thing you ever did.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. And he looks at her with a smile, gives her a kiss on the forehead, and he looks at the patch of hay that's laid out, and he takes his boots off, and he kind of just grounds himself, not even knowing that that's what he's doing. It's just something that seemed comfortable. Then he stands there, and he just looks up at the stars.
For a moment, it really does hit you all at once that in all of creation, this place right here, right now, is where you need to be. That it is something that's going to sit with you and guide you and direct you and give you clarity. You grew up the way you grew up, and none of that comes to mind. You had a lot of camaraderie, a lot of brotherhood when you served, but none of that brought you peace. But it is here, feeling the love of a good woman, the demonstrable effects of the sweat of your brow, the change that you can make for a small circle of people, and acres of good, quiet land that you realize this is where you should be. And Hannah comes up behind you. Her shoes are off. And we'll fade to black. But over the next few nights, it is cattle driving season. And, you know, you spend nights out on the grasslands. You're pushing cattle. You're pulling fence. You're making room. You got a couple of dogs with you. And eventually, you pull back into that piece of land where the dugout is, where that beautiful spot is. And Hannah's talked about it a couple of times. Just a couple more nights. It's going to be great. We're going to sit out under the stars. It'll be the last night that we need to be driving cattle. We can actually relax.
I'm not worried about me. It's the damn cows. Hey, you push them as hard as you push me, they're gonna fall over. We might as well make ground beef now.
Well, cut a couple legs off. It is ground beef.
You keeping me out here. I'm gonna make some steaks out of one of them. It's fine. It's fine. We'll go as long as you need to.
Okay. And you feel a little uneasy that night. You wouldn't,
if I may, Aaron.
Hit me.
I think because normally on these herding trips, Bartolo doesn't have those dreams.
Yeah,
they're usually either filled with the quiet sounds of the night, or maybe one or two mini shots from hanging around the fire of after a long hard day, and it's just kind of passing out from that. But tonight there is a heavy weight on his chest as he rounds the evening out and he lays down, and this is probably one of the worst fits that he has had in quite some time.
Yeah. If I may, I think I'll describe the dream that you have. Very specifically, you've had a recurring dream of, it's the horrors that you've experienced. It is teammates being wounded. It's the dark, dull, gray moments after the adrenaline dumps. It's the realization settling in that your fellow brothers in arms are going to have to be cared for in a foxhole. The gunfire has stopped. Help isn't coming for a few days, etc., etc. You watch a friend slowly die. And it's tough. Because it starts to escalate. Usually it stops there. It's the same replaying moments over and over and over and over and over. But it takes such a devastating turn. It's guts being strewn about. It's not just explosions. It's It's monsters in the night coming and pulling pieces off of your friends before pulling them off of you. It's the sound of distant gunfire and not being able to react to it. It's letting down all of the people in your life that matter to you. And it comes to a point of lucidity where you feel like you're there. There's mud caked all over your legs, up to your thighs, dirt coating your hands, blood smeared on your uniform and your face. You feel the pain of heated metal piercing your skin. And you see your brothers in arms running away from you. And they're not running away from combat, they're running away from you. You're the monster. You've been killing them. It's their blood on your hands. And Bartolo looks down into this foxhole to look for his battle brother, and it is Hannah. Her face distorted in pain. You standing over her, and it's her mouth opening and closing, gasping, asking, why? 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 Why did you hurt me? Why have you killed me? I'm dying, and it's your fault. Why are you hurting me? And then you wake up. Cold sweat coating your body.
I think Bartolo shoots up, eyes still closed, and he's screaming Hannah's name, like clutching at the ground. He opens his eyes and he looks up, and he's in his tent. He's on his bedroll, and he's breathing so heavy. And he looks down at his hand, and he is clutching his knife. Oh no! Junebug. He pats to the side. Hey.
There is no response.
Shuffles. Starts ripping away blankets, bedrolls.
There is no one there.
He scurries out of the tent. He stands up. He's Anna!
All that you hear are the quiet chirps of bats hunting and the wind rolling through the grass.
Anna! And I go back into the tent. Put on my boots. I don't even put on a shirt. Fuck it. I grab a rifle. And I start heading down a trail that we had just previously beaten in from several herds, but we take it all the time. Thinking that she doubled back for some reason. Probably just used the bath. She's probably just taking a piss. That's fine. Anna! And I keep going down the trail.
You're running down the trail, and there is a very noticeable mass in the center of the trail. For a moment, you panic, thinking that it might be Hannah, but it is just a sudden moment, and it passes, as it is far too large to be Hannah, but it is in the moonlight, splotched red. And you get a little closer, and then you hear it. It is the shuddering gasps, the last breaths, as one of the cattle that you have been driving dies on the trail.
God damn. Butcher's in the middle of Bastrop. Fuck. It's fine. It's not fine. It's fine. Loads rifle. Puts one in. Stands up and is still looking around, still screaming for Hannah. Hannah! Hey!
I will. Ooh, yeah. I'll ask for an awareness.
What's an awareness?
Wits and awareness, yeah.
Okay. Let's fucking get active. Let's do this.
You don't need hunger dice, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask about that, like how you wanted to do that, but so thank you.
Yeah. Just use current stats. It's all good.
You're just a guy, man.
Just a fella.
One success. Makes sense.
You hear the breaking of a branch, the rustling of leaves off to the side of the trail ahead of you, moving towards what you know to be a clearing out in the middle of this copse of trees. And you know that the only
damn it, it's not funny.
The only predators that you know that are out here, there's wolves that move across these lands. They're not the most common, but you've heard them. You know they exist. And you keep running. You keep running. You crest over that hill, and you see the clearing. And you're about maybe 100 meters away. It's a fair distance. It'd take you some time to run, but you see what appears to be a wolf, a quadrupedal thing leaping at another creature, another shadowed creature. And even at 100 meters, you hear a thud of impact, a vicious, very likely bone-shattering impact between the two creatures. And what do you do?
Immediately thinking that it's one of the wolves attacking another cow that may have stridden off or gotten off the beaten path. Texas or Bartolo, sorry, at the time.
Yep.
Yells out, yeah, hey, and lets off 2 shots in that direction.
You take the 2 shots. In the dark, it's hard to tell if they've struck, but whatever the creature is, it doesn't stop, and you see it rear back its head, and you see a gout of flesh and blood come back with the rearing head, shadowed in the night, and you just keep peeling off rounds.
I start pressing forward. Bartolo's mind has completely changed. The one thing that you are taught when you are in a firefight, especially when you're a meat shield in the infantry, is that you point the barrel downrange and you keep firing, but you better not backpedal. And so that's what he starts to do. He starts trudging forward, shooting off fires on his rifle.
As you march and fire and march and fire, this steady, disciplined racking of rounds firing off, you eventually see the creature dash off of whatever the prey was that it had landed upon, and you're about 20 meters away, and you get closer, and you get closer. What does Texas feel as you separate the tall grasses that surround the lifeless body of Hannah, her very clearly dead eyes open and wide with fear, staring up at the stars, chest not rising, skin more pale, holes ripped in her neck as if a large claw had swiped it.
Not a feeling that hits first, it's a smell. Death has a scent. It's distinctive. It's strong. It's pungent. And then it's followed by that iron, metallic-y scent of blood. And it just sits on the edges of his nostrils as he pushes back the grass. And he's focused on that. If I can smell the blood, I can smell the cattle. That's fine. And when he pushes it back and he sees that it's not one of the herd, and that it's Junebug, he drops his rifle. And he looks her in the eyes. And then he averts his gaze. And when he does, he's only met with what was her end. And he looks back into her eyes. Then he's just crying. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Junebug. And before there's any opportunity for him to embrace her or process anything, he is frozen. This is the first time he's seen this. He's seen this situation before, but this stops him in his tracks. Every little bit of his training tells him to turn around and find a threat, but he is stuck. Just staring into the wide eyes. He can see the fear in her eyes. He can see the sadness on her face, and he is frozen.
In a good and fair world, people are given the time to process and mourn death and horror and the passing of loved ones, but this is not that kind of story. And as tears are streaming down Bartolo's face, and he is racked with the horror of the death of the only woman that has ever brought him any semblance of peace and stability in his life, you feel an electric, searing pain coming from along the back of your neck and head as your entire upper body is wrenched backwards and your face is turned as nails dig into flesh, and you are moved to face red, bloody eyes piercing into your own, and a face that is full of fanged teeth, too wide for the mouth that it is set in. It stares into your soul. You shot me. It's been a while since I felt that sting. Feels good. I'm Oklahoma. That's my name and you remember it. I think we're gonna be good friends. And then everything goes black. And I think that is a very poignant place to zoom out from Bartolo, now Texas. All right. Folks, it's about that time. It's time for a human break. Break time. We will return in 10 minutes. You, audience, people at home, folks on YouTube, people that are watching this right now, anybody that catches the VOD, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your sister, tell your brother, tell your cousin, tell your local congressperson, tell your garbage collector, tell all your neighbors, tell your neighbors' neighbors, tell your pen pal from back in the 8th grade that your teacher forced you to connect with. Tell a stranger on the internet that Another World Tabletop is live on twitch.tv/Another World Tabletop right now, telling vampire stories. But I must tell you the most important part of all. Tell your dog that we love them. Oh my goodness. We will be back in 10 minutes. Stick around. We love y'all. We're back. Did you tell your dog that we love them? I certainly hope so. I told Wyatt that I love him. That he's a great boy. So we'll hop right into the next scene here. Not everyone goes back into the past. We sometimes sidestep into moments that are astride the current plot, a showcase of the moments that happen in between the tense interpolitical coterie plots that happen on screen. And this is going to be one of those. It is current day that we find ourselves at Temple.
Yes, the interior of Temple and the basement area is decorated like there's a party happening. White, gold, black are the colors of this affair. Everyone is wearing white, very nice white clothing. Lupe in particular is wearing kind of a very Grecian style formal dress that is white and has gold accents. And it is Lupe and all of her ghouls at this, what looks to be some kind of formal ceremony. And it is for Isaiah. We're in full swing of that.
For the people at home,
yes.
There are 7 individuals here.
Yes.
The revelation that December is not the only individual that has a sort of cult of personality that has been formed around them in the form of ghouls. You see folks from really all walks of life. You see Isaiah, the dark-skinned, tattooed, scarred wall of a man. You see Maya, the Latina, athletic, a devastatingly attractive, very, very like the girl boss, bodyguard, sort of member of the team. There's Noemi, a sort of androgynous, high-fashioned, girly pop, the bubbly, persuasive assistant that is usually at the side of Lupe. There's Carter, Twinkie, former Abrahamic religion traumatized, individual, and then there's Inez, a model-esque, usually decked out in goth attire, sort of has a party girl demeanor to her most of the time, but she's the club manager, the individual that ensures that Wolf's Den and Temple sort of get the proper treatment from a person who can be more present night to night. And then there's the newcomer, Alexandria. Corpo chic, ex-newsy reporter that has been recently brought into the fold. And with all of those gathered, they stand in various, poses of supplication as this goes on. They're sort of like waiting, hands folded, understanding that there's a little bit of gravity tonight, especially for Isaiah. Is there anything that Isaiah is wearing that is different than the rest?
Yeah, I would say he is probably wearing something that's more formal looking, but he actually has the like a pin on his lapel that has the symbol of clan ministry on it.
Okay. Actually, point of clarity. Is it the symbol of clan ministry, or is it the old guard symbol of the followers of Set?
It's the old guard symbol.
Okay.
The correct symbol.
I would agree, as a big fan of the the older gen clan. But so they all stand sort of waiting on Lupe. The celebration is in order. People have had drinks. They've had a little bit of an introduction to the evening. They're all changed. There's a very visible excitement in the air, as this is quite literally the first time that Lupe has gathered all of her ghouls for a ceremony such as this. There have been instances where sermons have been given, where there has been religious sacrament observed. There's been times of a sexual release, orgy, and revel of the flesh and the body, and through the imbibement of drink and drugs and et cetera, like a celebration of life and vice. But tonight it seems a little more austere, a little bit more severe. There's gravity.
More formal.
Mm-hmm.
It's more formal, and also, actually, other than Alexandria, and Teresa is here as well. The last time they all got together was Malik's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Normally they don't meet all at once like this. And essentially she, gets up to the front of, the congregation. Of course, they fall quiet when she steps to the front of the room. And she's got a glass that looks like it might be champagne, but it is tinged red. One of her favorite vintages. And she essentially, will say, we've gathered here this evening to induct our beloved Isaiah into a rite that I feel is far overdue. And as we remind each other that we have one another in our faith and are stronger together, and that there is an end goal here. And with those that we have lost, we move forward together with those things in mind. And she'll continue onward, and it does eventually get into more cult-like terminology, praise be to the royal bloodline, the true high priestess of Set, etc., etc. And we'll say party evolves into something a little less formal once the formal things are said. Drugs, drinking, blood dolls, etc. Whatever is needed for any kindred that might also be in attendance. But mostly just for the ghouls. And eventually they are excused, or the party comes to a close, and it is left to both herself and Isaiah in the temple, underneath temple, in a private space where essentially she's made it comfortable, set it up in a way that Isaiah would prefer, because after speaking with Trevor, with the Baron, she received approval to embrace Isaiah. But she is not simply embracing him. She is going through a ritual to allow him to join a specific bloodline of clan ministry.
Isaiah looks a little nervous. As much as he has always put on, the bravest face, he is a consummate professional. He understands the gravity of situations like this. He's been your ghoul for 30 years. You and he have been all but tied at the hip in a professional and very supernatural arrangement. Having been your ghoul, his aging process halted, his skills sharpened to needle fine points, his grasp of the disciplines of the clan. What he does have access to, he has honed to a razor's edge. He has killed for you. He would die for you. He was your first, and he has paid his dues, so to speak. He is fluent, not only in the methodologies and the execution of a professional of the cult of Set. He is also a faithful. He can quote the scripture. He can speak the words of praise and adoration to Sutek. He understands a lot of the ritual, the rite, the routines that go into driving vice to its very limits, then denying it and corrupting others. He knows. And still, he looks at you from across this hallowed chamber. I am ready.
Good. You've been well prepared for this, and I feel you are more than ready.
This place will be the tomb in which my mortal life will lay dead, and it will be the womb in which a warrior of this temple will be born. I have taken the sacrament. I have prepared the oils and the incenses. I have done as you have asked. I am ready for this. I can do this.
She will touch his face, which is a affectionate gesture she doesn't often bestow upon him. They're very professional. She isn't romantically involved with any of her ghouls. They are under her command for one purpose and one purpose only: to prove themselves, to see if they are worthy to join the ministry. Then she will check the supplies that are in the room. So essentially there is incense lit. He has been prepared in a specific way. There is a I would say it's a sizable vial of a kind of viscous looking clear liquid on the table as well. And it is the correct me if I'm misremembering, it is the venom of a particular serpent.
It is the venom of a horned viper.
Yes. Because he will be of a slightly different caste than Lupe. He will be attached to Sutek's fang. And once she makes sure that everything is where it needs to be, she will drain him.
Isaiah lays upon an altar and he ritually takes a very sharpened blade of obsidian and he slashes a wrist, blood starting to flow freely from it, and he presents it to you, and it is a slow process. His heartbeat starts to flutter. His eyes start to close. And when you apply that vial of your blood mixed with the poison which has been anointed, the venom that has been anointed with holy oils and prayers of servitude and praise, not to Sutek, but to Wepwawet, the great horned serpent, the fang of Set, the destroyer for which Set is usually given the name of. Isaiah starts to shake on the table, his hands trembling as the venom destroys any remnant of the blood that is in his veins that is left, as it mixes with your vitae, and the oils and the prayers change it ever so slightly, infusing it with spirits and energy and a different shift of the gift of Set. And his body phases and shifts, and you see just at the very corners of his eyes, to the left and right, you see a delicate dusting of scales, and then they open.
Just like with her embrace, there is a warmed bottle of blood ready and waiting for him.
Many kindred awake ravenous and aching to feed. And Isaiah is different. Most come out with a strange sense of bestial lack of control, but he looks you in the eyes with a frightening clarity. And then he takes the preferred beverage, and he takes a few drinks, and then, in an act that is a little stunning, sets it down, instead of greedily drinking the entire thing.
Welcome back. How do you feel?
I don't think that I am back. I think that I am new.
You think that you are new?
Yes.
Are the scales still visible, or have they faded?
They are visible and iridescent in the very, very dim light of this chamber. You catch a rainbow-like glow that comes from those scales. I feel correct.
Good. Then I was correct. This was meant for you.
He flexes his hands and rolls his shoulders, and you hear the audible sound of straining skin, and like almost like leather stretching in a saddle, just toughened, hard skin being stretched by an impressive force. And then he closes his eyes and opens them, and they are snake-like slits.
She looks so proud right now.
And you already know that he had the powers of presence.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is it that I do? What are my commands?
Your typical responsibilities will be similar. However, you will have more privileges, of course, as my child. Your role is much more significant, as you are the protector of the temple. The one which we will be raising together, my child.
I will serve.
And there is much I have to teach you.
I feel strong.
She nods, I know.
I am then inducted as a temple guardian. I will not allow a single stone of this place to be desecrated.
Excellent. She kind of looks at the bottle, because she remembers when she was embraced, she chugged the whole damn thing in one sitting. Are you not hungry?
I have watched Kindred for 30 years. And if you cannot master your hunger, then you cannot master yourself. And
Too true.
if I was to ever act against the interests of this temple due to my hunger, whether it be fear, thirst, or anger, then I have failed. So even now, when my body screams for sustenance, I will not drink.
She'll nod. There are ways of steeling yourself. But one of the simpler ways is to keep the beast satisfied. Do not get too hungry. There is a line in which we all lose control.
He smirks. Sutek forever tells us that the best way to defeat the vices and the things that tempt us and whisper in our ear is to reach the very limits of them and then defeat them.
This is true.
I will take my sacrament, and I will drink the blood of whomever you wish. But it will be on my terms.
Shall not. As you wish. Come. If you are not going to eat more and do not feel a need for rest, then there is time yet in the night. We can discuss the topics that you might not have learned during your time.
I have never had so much energy.
She looks so pleased, not just with how he has turned out through training and loyalty and test after test, but proud of herself the most. She's taking credit for this. Step 2 is complete. Let's have a little chat. And I think that's a good place to fade out for her.
Yeah. All right. We will once again be stepping rather far into the past. It is but a few months after the death of Uptown's sire.
Ever since he put the cigar in his mouth,
the shotgun to him, the cigar in the mouth, and waited for that brutal man to die. So, Uptown.
Mm-hmm.
You are still in Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
This is still your stomping grounds. And it is
1985.
1985. And we sit in an uptown bar.
He's finally worked out his hunting strategy as a, what is it? Montero style.
Yeah.
He's ghouled the first person that will accompany him. They are his assistant, eyes, ears, distraction, whatever he needs them to be. I think he's working alone tonight.
these memories are coming back at the behest of Deacon. This obfuscated part of your mind, this clouded, erased set of instances are being plucked out. And for posterity, due to the fact that it is Deacon that is performing this grand
is it Deacon or
reversal.
Is it Jasmine?
It'll be Deacon.
Okay.
Jasmine was technically supposed to be in Hong Kong, but Deacon has the right power.
Okay.
And he will be privy to the information that you are revealing here tonight. That does need to be on the record.
That's okay.
And so you've chosen the ghoul. You've worked out feeding patterns. And there's been something that has been eating at you. Your sire was a creature of routine, professionalism, habit, brutal efficiency.
Incessantly so.
In a paranoid way, in a very neurodivergent, hyper-focused, intense, to the point where being forced to focus on something else would cause pain, discomfort. And you had never experienced a moment where he slipped up. And you like to imagine yourself as clever.
I'm real good.
Incredibly good.
He taught me all I know, and I'd be a fool to assume that he taught me all he knew. Deacon, you also learned his name. The Malkavian known as Mark Morrigan. Uptown sire. A former, if I'm not mistaken, primogen of Calgary. He's good. He's the best. How did I get him?
And it's been eating at you. You keep going over in your head all of the moments where he could have slipped up, where you thought that you would have had the upper hand, where you were holding information that he somehow learned. You understand that some of it is quirks of the blood.
Mm-hmm.
He had access to disciplines that you don't. And that is a very simple truth. He could work out puzzles and threads and lines of chance and fate and destiny and circumstance better than anyone you had ever met.
He was always exactly where he needed to be at exactly the time he needed to be there.
And more to the point, he was not in the places that he shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
And that meant no one really ever got the better of him.
So how did I pull it off?
This will be a simple test in order to learn how long that this took Uptown and how frustrated that we paint this.
Mm-hmm.
But can I please get an intelligence plus investigation?
Was a specialty in profiling
Oh,
applied?
yeah. Harder than it ever has.
How a part of this is Deacon? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm rousing the blood for an extra 2 dice.
Sure, yeah.
And I would have to imagine, because it's not telepathy, you're not reading my thoughts. Uptown is
kind of just
telling
guiding you through your own stuff.
Yeah, Uptown would be speaking it out loud. Like
it'd be very the way that I've always seen it portrayed, even in like the VTM novels, when it comes to like pulling memories and pulling thoughts and forcing out like thoughts, is it's so close to therapy. In the most backwards kind of way, where it's just like, and what was that like for you? What were the words that were said then? Do you remember? What do you remember? Are you remembering that correctly? How do you know this? Who told you that? Who was there? Etc. 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 It is a series.
I'm essentially combining mesmerism and reverse engineering forgetful mind for this.
It is.
Well, forgetful mind can be used to restore memories that have been erased. Yeah.
It is a mixture of guided meditation, psychotherapy, and a generous helping of hypnosis. So it's all of those things wrapped in one. And Deacon, you are the guide.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
How many successes?
7 messy critical.
So we'll just paint it the way that it is. You obsess about this to the point where you start going hungry, where you start neglecting yourself, where you're getting small rips in clothing because you're cutting corners, because you're out literally all night, you're following leads, you're going to businesses that he frequented, you're checking in on old associates, you're looking into his past, you're looking into his life as a mortal, you're following out what kind of coffee did he like as a man, what did he, how did he treat his secretary, what were his financials like, like you went and you checked on his bank, what was his credit score, you get every ounce of information about this man.
This is the first time Uptown makes the cork cube.
Yes, you rent out. You find.
This is when I rented that storage unit.
You look in the mirror halfway through this investigation, and you see that your living space, your apartment, is an absolute disaster. You're like, I can't keep notes like this. They're all over the couch. They're all over the kitchen table. They're all over the floor. It's covering my coffee table. I have things pinned to the walls. I'm putting holes in the walls. You've got a chalkboard that you've rolled in from God knows where, and you're writing things and you're smearing them off. You've got cork boards taped to cork boards. You realize that you need an extra space, an external place in order to go and move. And you finally purchase that shipping container, that sea can that you fit with the cork on every surface. And you start putting red string in that very laser trap sort of way. And you have that moment of prescience. Things start connecting. Why was your sire there? How did you find out that he was going to be there? When did this happen?
How did I get his planner?
How'd you
get that rooftop at that time? But how did I read it?
It's all ciphered.
I never could before.
It wasn't a flash of genius.
It wasn't a gift of the blood.
No.
It was the first time I'd seen it since I was embraced, and I assumed. All of a sudden got really good at solving puzzles. I just figured that coded, ciphered notes would be the same. Ow.
He left you a trail.
He meant for me to find him?
That's your first thought. He meant for you to find him. He wanted that confrontation. Did he have a death wish?
What fucking psychopath plans his own death as part of the plan?
Does Uptown say that out loud?
Yeah.
Without breaking it, Deacon does say, most Kindred don't account for their own death, but I don't know much about Malkavians. You see more than we can all see. So for all we know, he saw something that needed it. Or he didn't see something and it caused it. But we're still going. Sorry, that's the detective in me.
No, you're onto something. Because there was never a time where he didn't see it. Wait a minute. I didn't make this cork cube until I was embraced. And frankly, I've never really questioned where the habit came from because it's so useful. The setup in particular. And if he was like me and he trained me the way he did it to be like him because he would understand me. So that raises the question, did he have one? And if so, where is it?
You get that flash.
You never knew where he lived?
Ooh, that is what triggers fully. You did. You did find out where he lived. But it wasn't until after he died. You started using that corkboard. You started using this maze of red string, this tangled cobweb of interconnected thoughts and clues and notes and musings and clues to find where he havened. And you wish that it was somewhere clever, that it was something interesting. Your sire lived in a one-bedroom apartment in downtown Calgary. "22nd floor, corner apartment, and in that mind palace, you stand in front of the front door.
I lean in, smell for anything unusual, put my hand on the wall next to the door, very gently make my way down to the door handle, make sure there's no crazy bullshit waiting for me.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly turn the knob. Is it open?
It takes a little lock picking.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it does open. What meets you is a little bit of a shock, a little bit of a scare. You see about a half a dozen fully disarmed booby traps. A tripwire that has been delicately taken apart and set to the side of the bottom of the door. You see a shotgun sitting in the corner of the room, facing the doorway. You see a piece of wire at neck level that seems to have some sort of blade contraption that would come out if you cross the threshold that has been dismantled. And you see several bear traps that are just beside the door as well, sitting to the side. But gently so. And as the shock of that wears off, the entire apartment has been turned into a cubic station for clues, for theories. The walls have been knocked down. There is no kitchen. There is no washroom. There is no living space. It is just a horrid peek into the mind of the man who cannot help but scratch at the walls of his own obsession. There is string connecting one thing to another to another. You're looking at clues. You're looking at news articles and financial statements going back to the 1800s. You're looking at the photographs and drawn rough sketches of individuals that you do and don't know. You see figures like Duncan Howley. You see Strathcona surrounded by question marks. You see a humongous, central to the back wall figure of a tree that is growing out of a man. The entire place is a testament to someone who would not let go of what they are so desperately paranoid about.
Uptown steps in, and right in the doorway, the first thing he sees, kind of on the wall and then stretching around the corner into where the kitchen would be, is articles from scholarly textbooks and other such things about Egyptian history. There's things in there about there's mad ravings about some religious apocalypse involving a typhonic beast. And in this moment, at least in the memory, Uptown has no fucking clue what that's about. And then permeating through the middle of all of that, there are sketches of a woman with purple eyes. That he feels intense dread whenever he makes eye contact with this woman. There's photographs of strange eldritch creatures whose flesh has been melted and bubbled and shaped into something entirely new. And in the present, he says out loud to Deacon, "Oh, that's why I wanted to learn that." There's photos of, at the very end of this sort of Egyptian apocalypse craziness, there's photos of both Lupe and Liam. With question marks going, can they help? Are they responsible? What's going on there? There's a photo of LaValle with the eyes poked out and crossed out in red and writing, "He needs to be out of the way." How? He hates anarchs. Need the one I pick to hate authority and have the confidence that standing up will work. They need to kill me. There's nightmarish sketches of a vampiric figure with fangs on both the top and bottom jaw. Underneath, he's written, there will be a Brujah involved. LePage? Underlined, question marked. And in the present, Uptown goes, no, it's Texas. He knew, even back then, that it was Texas. There's something in the thing with Strathcona. A skull and crossbones. He's in the way, he's not in the way. God, everything would be so much easier if he were just dead. There's photographs of the ship where the Sabbat pack has been living, with string going to random places. Some are right, some are way out to lunch. There's one that goes to Duncan Howley. There's a sketch of an incredibly weird, eldritch-looking blade that, in the present, Uptown realizes Texas has in his possession after he took it from Enkidu. There's photographs of the house that's been guarded by those weird mage people for so long, where Enkidu was housed. He was never able to get close enough to figure out what was going on in there. And most concerning to you, Deacon, there are sketches of your face drawn in the year prior to the year 1985. There's text around it saying, the line of kings will rule in this domain for many years to come. I've told Strathcona this, and he is appreciative, but I don't think it will be him.
Out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm also in your mind seeing this.
Mm-hmm.
In a way. All Deacon says to you in response is, I've really got to start investing in the whole seeing the future power. So much of my job will be so much easier. Actually, I retract that, and it wouldn't be fun.
Or you could just trust the Malkavian around you.
I never said I didn't trust you. I said you didn't go about things the right way.
No.
And I was not in a place to hear such things at that time. Now I am, but
Nobody's ever ready to hear the things they don't want to hear, are they?
Oh, I was quite literally a murderous madman at that time. Now I'm more calm. Keep going.
Yeah. So, why don't I remember any of this?
Because someone didn't want you to.
Well, but I'd already
can recognize
killed
the work of my. So either someone else wanted you to kill your sire, or at some point, he wanted you to do this because of something he saw.
Uptown at this moment is now remembering moving to the center of the room, where his sire's main journal is sitting on the remnants of an ottoman that he had torn apart and used the string off of at some point. There's like a little, but it's like a little pedestal, something straight out of an Indiana Jones movie. The gold statue in the middle, but it's his journal. And he picks it up and he starts reading. And in no uncertain terms, this was the plan all along. All of the visions that Mark Morgan had, the only one where anything different happened that was not apocalyptic, terrifying bullshit, is the one where I kill him and come here and see this. That motherfucker. He does all of that to me and then robs me of the revenge?
Yeah, that's the shitty part about prophecy and a lot of fiction. Was it a prophecy, or did it only happen because someone said it was going to happen?
Motherfucker told me my house was gonna burn down, and when I asked if he was sure, he lit the Molotov himself.
Yeah, well, at least you come by being an asshole naturally. The drawings on my face are a bit weird because they come 4 years before my birth, but like I said, the whole seeing the future thing.
Well.
God, you're old. All of you are so old.
Yeah, man. So, wait a minute. As I'm standing there holding the journal, do I get the sense that I figure out who did this to me, Aaron? Oh?
Yeah. You're standing in the middle of that space. And you turn around in the present, and you seem to be looking at that middle space as if recreating what happened at your sire's apartment. And it's an unfortunate sight. The Hound is standing behind you. Moshar, that man who had taken apart as much of your mind as he could, the one that had captured you, he stands behind you. So you're the protege.
I think in this moment, there's a little bit of backwards prescience. And Uptown in the past had no idea why he said it. But he says, not you. No, please, not you. Why? Why did it have to be you?
You have a gift. And your sire had a gift. And I know that it's difficult to see the light.
Why do I feel like I know you?
You will. There will be a point in time where we will need to entangle. I don't think that you and yours are at a place where you are ready to come to revelation and rhapsody and peel back the layers of what is and what isn't. But you have done a great work here. I'm glad that I was here first, and that your sire's precautions did not take you before I had a chance to cultivate this. But I think for now, for this chapter of us, that it is going to be far better for you to forget. And as he says those words, that's when you feel it all goes blank. The death of your sire, the death of your innocence, the realities of the horror of what truly was going on, of this prophecy, this revelation that would have taken years, decades off of the investigations that were necessary, that could have led to all of these links, wiped away and robbed from you by someone older, someone who was more prepared, someone who was ready. And it feels like genetic memory. It feels like something almost reptilian waking up inside of Uptown. All of this revelation all at once. There is a...
Whatever room that Deacon and Uptown are in, he's fully not here anymore, and he's putting things on the walls even though there's nothing there.
We're at the motel that I own, that I allow like a lot of our bikers to mosey on through when they're on.
He fully takes apart a motel room, putting things on the walls.
Sometimes it's happened, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. The hat comes off. He takes the toothpick out of his mouth at one point and jams it into the wall. Takes the glasses off. He's running his hands through his hair. That motherfucker. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna rip him apart with my bare fucking hands.
Yeah, I don't. That's the one person I don't recognize. That one. Who is that?
He's the one who held me in that cell. The one that tortured me. He's from the Sabbat. The Black
That's
Hand.
all you had to say. Yeah, that motherfucker got to go. You home a house.
He's the one who's kidnapped people that were very important to me and Lupe and Texas and December. And he killed the ones that were important to me and December.
Being that the first time that Deacon has heard that information, that there was anyone even kidnapped.
I don't think I was warning you to take care of the people that were close to you, Deacon, and I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. I don't need warnings. I should just do it. That's what I do. I do the job.
That feels unhealthy, but all right.
As Uptown
I'm
sits in this point of revelation, I think I'd like to ask for the most important intelligence and investigation that you've rolled yet.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. Profiling apply?
No.
Okay.
Does Deacon apply?
Does Deacon apply? No, but I will either allow it to be... Actually, let's make it an Eyes of Chaos roll.
Eyes of Chaos. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so that I'm rousing the blood either way, and I do get hungrier, which feels appropriate. And an extra one for it being a discipline. I'm going to spend a willpower.
Okay.
Running out of room in my dice tower, for fuck's sake. Not a single 10. 8 successes, though.
Okay. You take in all of the information that was on those walls. You
put the glasses back on, and that's the trigger for Eyes of Chaos.
The reason why your sire couldn't make the connections, why he needed someone to come after, why he needed you. The people that were going to affect this ill fate of the city, they were not going to be Camarilla. They were going to be Anarch. They were going to be your coterie. They were going to be yours. He needed to catalyze these things. He needed to radicalize you. He did horror to you to show the evils of the Camarilla.
In this moment, does Uptown realize that who he experienced his sire as was not who his sire was?
Oh, distinctly. Your sire was doing everything in his soul grasp to prevent what he describes in journals, in scribbled notation, in wild scrawling upon walls as Gehenna. He was a proper Gehenna prophet, racked with it.
Sire was a Gehenna prophet.
More importantly, what was unique about this coterie? What would they know? What could they access? What would happen? What would be the sequence of events that he catalyzed that would reach all of this? What stopped your sire from walking into the caverns below and stopping it all? What stopped him? And you're looking, and you're connecting, and for a moment in time, you feel that cobweb clear, and you have this moment of divine prescience, the ability to look outside of anything that would be usual, anything that would be assumed, anything that could be assumed. And you look into lore, into folklore, into the beyond. He couldn't walk that path because for him that path didn't exist. There is something under Calgary that did not exist during his time.
When did it get here?
When did it get here? What was it? What could it be? And your mind goes back to your coterie. If you don't know, one of them will.
How did it get here? When did it get here? What is it? What's under Calgary? It wasn't here. He couldn't walk that path. He couldn't do it himself because it wasn't here yet.
Are you talking about what's in the sewer right now?
In this moment of
Enkidu?
insight, is it the same thing, Aaron?
In this moment, you feel like it's a great line of questioning.
I don't know, but I do know that there's something under Calgary. Something that my sire was afraid of. Something he saw coming. But he couldn't stop it because it wasn't there. It wasn't here yet. He knew it was coming. He knew that all of us together were going to have the tools to stop something.
Oh,
Moshar is the one who wanted it to happen because he's a Sabbat lunatic.
I get it. Okay, I got it.
You know,
the parts of
something
Enkidu
that's
hadn't
under
got. I mean, the parts of Enkidu hadn't broken out yet. Now they have.
When
The
did
work
they
hadn't
break out?
begun. The work hadn't begun yet. Sabbat didn't start their plot yet. He saw all this before they even came here to do this. Possibly. That's just a theory. Because please don't tell me there's another thing besides the thing that's saying it's Enkidu. I don't need that stress.
Well, we've heard a whole bunch of different names. How certain can we be that it's all one thing?
I'm never certain.
Occam's...
That's why I always have a job.
Yeah, well, Occam's razor's great and all, but Kindred tend to be rather specific about these sorts of things. Maybe I should just hunt down Moshar and make him fucking tell me.
Or if it's not Enkidu, maybe there is something else. Something goes deeper.
Or maybe it never has been Enkidu. How fucking crazy would it be if what we've been seeing this whole time is nothing more than a charade?
I recently came into much more knowledge than I had before. Forcefully so. I think I know what's down there.
If I like them, I hope you were a little
You
more
wouldn't have
gentle.
liked them.
Okay,
You
good. Then
wouldn't
fuck
have
them.
liked them.
I hope they suffered. I'm not feeling particularly generous right now.
I think I know what it is.
What is it?
Or at least I have a good idea. And storyteller, how much would I know about what was just pinged to me? What could I actually give forth without?
You have access to the first level of that information. You understand that there is a space between spaces that exists underneath Calgary, and that it is kindred to something that you have only heard rumors about in Chicago. A network of abyss-adjacent tunnels through space. It's known as the Labyrinth.
Yes. I wanted to know how to properly say it to him.
Yeah.
Okay. Between you and me, actually, I don't really care. He was a dick. I ate Father Mario.
I don't think I know who that is.
He was a Lasombra prick.
Was he Sabat?
He was there in my house with Kyle, holding my kid by the throat, along with a few shadowy tendrils. Needless to say, what I did, in my mind at least, was justified.
No,
But-
man. You're
Yeah.
absolutely real. That's the realest shit I think I've ever heard about you doing. If Texas were here, he'd say, "Let's get active," and I'd agree with him. Everybody seems to get all fucking squeamish about the forbidden slurp, but like at the same time, sometimes a motherfucker deserves it.
Well, he was Lasombra. I felt it was, in that moment, it was, they
I'm more focused in on the fact that he had your kid and was threatening to hurt her.
Well, yes, I thought it was that he was going to die either way. The other part felt like a slap in the face. It's like, you're Lasombra, and you are all just about, oh yeah, you don't deserve your power. That I didn't feel like giving a whole speech. I just told him I was hungry, then I ate his ass. But still, pause.
From the feet up, I hope.
That's what you're too old to understand what the pause is for. Okay, so from that, I got.
Oh, you know the things that he was thinking. You got you got the brain juice as well as the body juice.
Yes. So in Chicago, there's shit underneath the city. It's kind of like this. You know how Lasombra do the shit with the shadow, which is not really shadow.
No, but that's a thing. Got it.
Yes, it's a thing. I'm just saying, that they do stuff with it.
I know they do stuff with shadows. I've heard that.
It's not actually shadow. It's when they say you're dying and you see the darkness encroaching in, that's what they're manipulating. They're manipulating the literal darkness that encroaches upon death.
Horrifying. Continue.
Right? So, from what I've got from a piece of his fucking mind soul, the sliver of his brain, whatever.
The brain slurpee, yes.
There is rumors of one underneath Chicago. And from what? It's the only reason I can see him going down this path. And from what you just said, it's beneath Calgary too.
What is this?
The labyrinth. The labyrinth made up of. They call it oblivion.
Does the word labyrinth trigger anything in my fucking lizard brain, Aaron?
Unfortunately, not.
Okay.
You wish that it would, but it's such a specific, niche, and strange phenomenon.
Described by a very common word. Yeah. Okay, I don't know what a labyrinth is, but keep going.
It's beneath the city, I feel, was a subjective terminology. There's sewers, but then there's the shit underneath that. The labyrinth would be. What's the best way to describe it?
The shadow of an entire city?
Oblivion itself is quite literally pulling the shadows of the underworld. So if the labyrinth is that, it's basically like the underworld that's bled into its plane. And apparently there are dregs of it beneath Calgary.
Oh, this is some Dante's Inferno kind of shit.
Fucking Dante's Inferno. I played that game. Yes.
I was talking about the original.
The book, yes, I know, but also I
No,
played
no,
the
no.
fucking game.
No, the writings of the medieval guy. He wrote fanfic about the Bible and put himself in it.
Yeah, the fucking poem. Yes, I know.
Yeah. Okay.
But also the game.
Yes, but also
Made
the
a game about Dante's Inferno. Okay. I get.
Yeah.
I get. I could see the vision. Continue.
You get I was born in 89, dog. Like,
Yeah, we just went back to before you were born. I get it.
but yes, okay, fucking hell. If there's, we have to go down there, don't we?
Oh no. I don't wanna.
Well, that's majority of Kindred fucking life, isn't it?
I know.
Oh no, I don't wanna, but then who else is going to?
I know. Wasn't there like some movie or game or something that just came out where it's like 1 in 14 million? Because I feel like my sire just set me up for some shit like that, where it's like this was the only way it worked.
Are you talking about fucking Endgame right now?
Is that what it is? I've heard Modi say that before.
God, how have you been hanging out with him and he has educated you on nothing?
'Cause I've mostly been educating him, and then we were going to take turns. But anyways.
On the door of this motel, you hear knock, 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 knock.
I feel like both Uptown and myself, we both just point our guns directly at the door.
In no uncertain terms, I pull, and I look at Deacon, and I'm like, you take the angle, I'll get the door. I walk over, I take the chain off, my gun is pointed through the door, so I kind of just, or actually, no, I leave the chain on and open the door and look out the door. Who's there?
Fox.
Hello? Okay, alright, it's Fox, Deacon. I close the door, take the chain off, put the gun away, open the door. Hey.
Y'all fucking in here? It smells crazy.
No.
Okay.
You know what? Fuck it. The Black Hand made me forget a whole bunch of shit in 1985, and we just rehashed it. I remember now.
Okay. I'm...
Yeah.
Trevor's sending me out like a little fucking errand boy. It's
Why do you
election.
hear that?
Because it's election time.
Yeah, they tend to follow me around.
Wait, he's calling a...
He's calling a quorum.
Oh.
It's election time. The domain is expanded. It's ours. We're taking it. So it's election time.
Okay.
To see if he can keep it or to see who's going to take the other portion.
The people who voted Trevor in have either died, turned out to be traitor, or there is an influx of you.
Gotcha. Just had to make sure.
Isaiah is a new kindred. He will get a vote. Anyone else who has been freshly embraced, they will get a vote. That is how these things work.
Isaiah? Yeah.
Isaiah Lupe's ghoul Isaiah?
Yeah, the hot one.
They're
with
allowed
the
to have
star.
names?
Yeah, they're allowed. Shut up, Deacon.
Yeah, I turn to you and I go, shut the fuck up, man. That's rude.
You love your
I meant
ghouls, you
specifically-
sappy bitch.
I specifically meant Lupe's. He says, like, I specifically meant Lupe's. They're allowed to have
Fox
names?
busts out. Yeah. Lupe's good to her ghouls. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Super good.
Yeah, I'll take... Yeah, Lupe's mostly a... decent
Go have a social night at Wolf's Den or Temple sometime, and you'll see, like, happy people.
Not my scene. Not my scene. As I hear a dog.
There is a dog barking. It's just Wyatt The wind is crazy outside, and I think like our shovel or something.
No, that was in character. I was incorporating it in.
Yeah,
I was
it's a dog
incorporating
outside
it
the
in
motel.
because Fox has the door open, and I'm just like, I hear a dog outside. I'm just like, is that fucking dog back outside?
Fox
Yeah,
like,
there's no
yeah,
dog
I
there.
brought my dog. Whatever. Don't be weird about it. So
Okay, so
there's going to be a quorum. There's an election. Everybody gets a vote. Lydia's gone. We need a new architect. Texas is the constable. I don't think that's changing, but the domain has massively expanded. Trevor wants to know if he has a show of faith from everybody or if folks want somebody else new, which is also fine. It's more about who's going to lead the best or frankly who wants it the most. Like it is what it is.
you don't seem that enthused, Fox.
No, I'm not. I hate change. I liked being, we had the Camarilla to fight. It was good. Things were simple. Things are complicated now. This sucks. This fucking sucks.
Historically speaking, this is always the worst part of the revolution, is when the thing to fight kind of just melts away.
Yeah, when it turns out that the monster you were fighting wasn't actually the actual fucking kaiju.
But now's when we build infrastructure, Fox. That's the next step.
You gonna be the Baron?
Here's the thing.
No, not looking for a lecture. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Shut up. Yes or no? Not an answer I want. Fuck you. I'm leaving. Fucking talky ass bitch. Deacon.
Yes.
Have a lovely evening. I'll see you at the quorum.
You too. I'll see you there.
Got my fucking eyes on you. Spectacle wearing
At
ass
me?
bitch. Yeah, you.
I follow
overly
outside.
heated for no reason.
I follow outside. I've never seen Fox be that nice to somebody before.
Yeah.
I lean in.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
You had a little sip?
Yeah, of course. That's normal. That's a normal thing.
I've just never seen you be that nice to somebody.
I'm also nice to Trevor. I'm also nice to Lupe. I haven't drank a drop. I also like Texas. But you're a weird little freak boy.
Yeah, but you love it.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm nice to you. That's a privilege. And you ain't earned shit, because you a freak.
Yeah, I'm not nice to you either.
Yeah, when was the last time you said something nice? When was the last time you did something nice for me? When was the last time we went and got a drink? Never. Because you're a weird old boomer dude from the fucking 70s. You got a fucking accounting degree or whatever the fuck. You're from an era that I hate more than fucking anything. And you play gumshoe fucking 27 hours a day. You haven't come to a single Sapphic Erection show. Go fuck yourself, Uptown. Thank you for your service. What?
I'll come to the show.
You gonna buy tickets?
Yeah.
$500.
Deacon, can I borrow $500?
It can't be Deacon's money. No, Deacon,
You,
don't.
you literally see.
Don't.
You don't even come outside. You just see a roll of money fly out.
Put the racks away. Stop it.
I scramble and pick some up, and I shove it in Fox's hands, and I say, there, I'm coming to a show.
Thanks for the tip. That'll be $500 at the door. Fucko. And then Fox takes off.
What did you need $500 for?
Sapphic Erection tickets. That's what I needed it for.
I thought those were free.
Apparently not for me.
They are.
Listen, I already told you. Listen, I already told you. 500, that's fine. It's when you get to 10 million that I start issues.
Yeah.
Anything I have to write off on my fucking tax report, yeah, I have an issue with it.
Uptown sits down on the curb, and he pulls out a cigarette, and he lights it.
I sit now right next to you.
A little fucking close there, pal. Scoot over a little bit. Listen, man. I'm sorry I talked to you the way I did when I talked to you about your kid. I was out of fucking line. I thought I had your best interests at heart, but at the end of the day, you know what the fuck you're talking about. And I think you've lost plenty without me jumping down your throat about loyalty or any of that bullshit. So I'm sorry.
Apology accepted. And granted, at that point in time, I think one of my biggest gripes with this coterie is that when I say things, people don't tend to listen. Or if they do listen, they only listen to part of it. This whole time I've been saying I was not the way that I used to be, and I didn't mean that in Kindred terms.
Mm-hmm.
My beast has been running the show for nearly the entire time I've known any of you. I put the Tremere Primogen in torpor, not because I wanted to. That wasn't me. I wouldn't have done that.
And here I thought you just liked me and were worried about me. I'm fucking with you.
Up to that point, it was me speaking, up until I felt disrespected. Then the other guy took over. I don't like to react that way.
Do you think that happens for the same reason that I get all loopy? Do you think that's a Ventrue thing as well as a Beast thing?
No, I inherited some traits from someone else in my bloodline, unfortunately. But now I've got more of a handle on it.
Some big schmuck muckety muck all the way up the line was annoyed when people didn't listen to him?
If I tell you, will you try to kill me?
I think we're good enough friends at this point that I won't try to kill you on principle.
The literal creator of the fucking Camarilla. I'm related to that guy by blood.
Wait. Like, fucking Big
Heart
H
stat?
himself? Oh
Heart
my
stat.
fucking god. Everything makes so much sense now.
Bitch, I'm the fucking heir to Mithras. What you talking about? Oh god, we are so fucked, man.
Dude.
I mean, it's so hard. We are so fucked. We have a fucking ancient vampire thing under the city, and then beneath that, we have the fucking doorway to hell, possibly.
Uptown pulls out a cigarette and offers it to Deacon.
Oh my god, I wish I could still smoke weed, but thank you.
Yeah. Need a light? Uptown
I'll
gives
just,
him the light.
I just put it on the cherry of yours.
Okay.
And then I put it in my mouth. I do not inhale because I can't enjoy this. I'm going through a rigmarole. Like, there's no part of this that actually tastes or feels any part of good to me.
Do you know any Auspex, Deacon? You learned any?
Yeah, that's why I said I need to put more time in on actually seeing the fucking future.
Do you know the...
I can see you when you're invisible.
First of all, no, you can't. Second of all, when you get the heightened senses one, you get to feel the smoke going in. It's not quite the same, but it's a good facsimile.
What do you mean I can't? I saw you on my desk. Remember? What? Okay. Alright, so we gotta plan this shit out. And now there's a fucking election. What is...
Yeah.
God. Shit.
This...
Is that voice in the back of your head going to tell you to run?
No, this actually doesn't posit enough of a fucking thing for me to run. Another fucked up thing.
I will say, this does very much feel like a coterie conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think Uptown and Deacon are going to spend some time shooting the shit here on the fucking curb outside the motel.
Yeah. I feel like we can probably pull back from this moment.
That feels humble for Deacon and like a genuine connection for Uptown.
Yeah.
Yes, humble in this building that I own.
In this motel that you own. This is the most humble you get.
Yeah, you're sitting on the curb with a fucking Malkavian smoking a cigarette, okay?
Oh, my goddamn property.
All right. Folks, lovely individuals that have chosen to join us tonight, whether halfway through, from the very beginning, or catching us right at the very end. Hi. This has been Another World Tabletop playing Vampire the Masquerade here live on Beyonce's internet. We love you all, and we're always so happy that you choose to watch our content over the plethora of other content on the internet. That says to us that you like what we're doing. So this has been another lovely interlude. We will be catching you on Tuesday for The Last Ideal. We will catch you next Saturday for the next continuation of our proper journey. We had a lot of very intense moments tonight. Be safe, feel comfy. There was a couple of heavy moments tonight. Maybe, smoke a cigarette outside of a motel, decompress. Do what you got. Don't smoke cigarettes. Don't smoke cigarettes, kids.
Don't do that.
Especially the kids. But yeah, we're gonna raid out. If you think about it, follow our YouTube. That's where you can catch up on all of our stories. We're gonna be
online.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna go raid into Fusca. I keep on hearing the most wonderful things. Give them the classic Another World Love. Tell them Story Dad sent you. And yeah, we'll catch you on the flip flop. Goodbye.